Here is the souvenir that I got for you.
What is it?
Elephants.
But like, what's it made of?
The soap.
Soap?
The soap.
Trying to say something?
You can use it. A soap with elephant. And do you know tuk-tuk?
Of course I know tuk-tuk.
Sure. Two of this is a souvenir to cheer you up.
It's day 3 of the Pubg Nations Cup. Let's head to Erangel.
Let's get everything underway. Plane is up and in the air. We're going to be starting off over Primorsk and ending off to the west of Severny, right next to Stalber as well.
Chinese Taipei literally just from west to east, now close by to Australia, and they lose Leo to Monty.
He had to jump out of the vehicle. He taking too much damage. Was hoping for maybe a stop off of it. He's going to go down. Australia is going to pick that one up, but Chinese Taipei is now got to find some place to stop their roaming, and it looks like it's going to be a round where we have a duo for Argentina, but really couldn't get all their players there.
Chinese Taipei contesting them. It also kind of helps out Thailand. No teams behind them, only China above them as well. So that western side that we've got from phase 2, rather open. And again, we still got that center congestion, but also now out east, Argentina, Chinese Taipei, Australia. And Australia's position at the moment, quite perilous too. Really going to find themselves in a position where they're stuck on the edge, 2 teams in front of them. They'll have to push forward, take these fights. If they get the kills and they get those fight wins, it'll be great. If not, it could be a disaster waiting to happen. The other 2 players, though, for Chinese Taipei, they're on the backside into the smoke, so obviously not all of them going down to that 1 nade, and AliRV only had the 1 nade, and Australia hear the commotion. They just peek over. They'll get the free shot onto Yan Li through Monty. He gets the down. They do need to convert these, though. Australia can easily steal these kills away from Argentina, who probably at this point do not want to push any further over that ridge. Knowing Australia is watching that, they fall back. Smart play, but they don't get anything really from this.
If you're committed at that stage, you're already going to have to deal with Australia on the retreat. They've just kind of handed these points over to Australia if they want them now.
The other thing to note here, minute 20 seconds till phase 4, Australia are still not in the circle.
Resetting.
They actually need to get moving here, and yeah, because of this, Australia can't even flush Chinese Taipei. They have to get into their vehicles. They have to go for the rotation where Tiggleton and Luke 12 are already inside of the circle, a little bit to the south of Monty and Flood, so they can't actually take out Chinese Taipei either, and that maybe leaves the door for Argentina to collect those points.
Canada, though, is just harassing everything in the grounds around them, but can't stack up the kills. Australia, though, runs right into Vietnam, who has been a problem for every team that they've bound into.
Massive shot from Duckmai. The other 2 members for Australia pull up, but I think this might be their grave. Vietnam send Australia packing in 9th. They cannot get anything more from this game, but Glories, Duckmai, both down. The pressure's not done yet. Onto Vietnam.
As we take a look at the points coming in from this game, and there's no shift in the narrative for the UK because they are great.
Yeah, second match of the day coming your way. Erangel once again, and with that, we maybe expect more UK dominance. They'll need it if they want to take that top spot.
We do have Argentina Silzen that is very close to Australia, and I'm not certain that anybody is expecting this.
Yeah, and this is a little bit strange. I didn't quite catch what happened. Of course, we were watching the replay from the last game. Somehow Silzen's ended up in shelter. The rest of Argentina's, like north of Yasnaya, and this will thoroughly catch Monty off guard. And not only that, it's going to have to test his mental. If he does get caught here by Silzen to go out early like this in this fashion, really for the entire team, it's that kind of moment where you can hang your head and be like, oh my God, why is this happening to us? Because this is not something that you would normally expect.
Oh, this is just, out of all the ways to die, to be walking around in bunker surrounded by your teammates, and then there's a rat that's just going to come out of nowhere and get you. He's even going to deliver him a way to escape on the motorcycle. Silzen's going to get it easy. And Monty is probably throwing out so many cuss words.
3 for Turkey, 3 for Australia too. Remembering back, of course, they lost Monty to Silzen in shelter. Not a bad circle as well for Australia. And this is the kind of game where they've got good position, but they, of course, had that snake of Silzen inside of shelter. That really threw a spanner in the works for the rest of this game. We'll see what they can do as a trio.
USA needs to be careful. They do have China that is going to be approaching behind them. Luke 12 just going up, taking a bite out of Turkey, and then going to retreat away from that one. Really just harassing to harass. Korea is also harassing the low ground for Australia, as well as Luke, so that's why he's not overcommitting into this. Just smart play. See if you can get some damage all considered. Now, is going to be able to get away with that one.
Now, obviously, into our second match. They fall back over towards the beach side, which is not inside of the circle. So UK doing a good job, making it difficult for them to rotate in. Luke with the spray, difficult shots to land all of those. Can they maybe catch Shimboy at the end? No. Can they get through? Can Canada get into the circle
Argentina-
in front of a couple of other teams. Way too many teams that are on the eastern or the southeastern side of the previous circle for Phase 4 that need to push into this circle, and there's no cover besides the buildings that Thailand have. Kickstart looking to take out Flood and Tiggleton. A few more nades as well. Sharp shot with another sharp nade. They will finish off Australia. Well, that one gets a friendly bounce away from Tiggleton, but yeah, the pressure mounting. And it's good to see the United States on the front foot being aggressive against the best player in North America. They take him out. Australia gone in 12.
As you can see, Argentina and Thailand also getting themselves big points. I think there is a slight problem, though, for people that the UK still then gets double digits here, Toffees.
Match 3 here for day 3 of the Pubg Nations Cup is coming your way. The big circle has started, the crowd applauds, and we are getting underway to head once again back to Erangel. You mentioned, of course, Australia, and they're pushing into these compounds. It's been a rough day for them, not many points on the board. Still inside of that top 6, and, you know, what is it, like 49 points behind that top #1 position. There's still enough games that if they can have a big finish to today, they're not exactly gone, but it needs to happen sooner rather than later. Brazil are in pole position right now. Lashkay does get finished off, so for Korea, that rotation meant it cost them 2 players in the end, but they do have position on the cliff for the long run. Now, Monty with the elimination of Shimboy, but he falls to Keenan. 1-for-1 here between Canada and Australia. Adam, though, falls to Sharpshot, so they're down to 2 players, and they've got Australia on the outside of them.
Exactly, Monty doing everything he could to fend off, but unfortunately a little bit too much for him to handle as they all came pushing forward. Australia not in a position where they could regroup fast enough. As we saw before, still players out in mini Milta.
But even for China still, I mean, they've only lost the 1 player, despite being stuck in the blue, coming in very late, getting shot at by Thailand, as we see Tiggleton having a bit of an accident there. He'll get revived by Flood, although getting shot at that before. I think force out a smoke and maybe still get the safe res, unless Japan start hitting these really, really difficult shots. They should be okay inside of the circle, and having some help come from Luke 12 will be vital. Australia's wrapping onto the 2 remaining players of the United Kingdom, brothers in arms, but right now enemies as T-Bone gets both Luke and Flood. It's only Tiggleton left, and Haven knocks him out. Australia on the ropes here at the Pubg Nations Cup, down into 7th. They cannot catch a trick.
You know, when Vietnam started, looking at this match leaderboard, it's a tale of how they've evolved. When this event started, I felt like Vietnam was playing for points per game, a slow plod to the top. They wanted that 5 to 6 average, maybe not even looking at first, but looking at top 5.
All right, let's get into it then. It is Miramar time. We're heading to the desert. The penultimate game for the day starts now. Let's go to the commentators.
Oh, it's a literal Death Valley in there. There's just, you're absolutely right. And not only do they have not any information, there's not much to work with on the inside. I mean, Trimsy here trying to mess with Australia's rotations, but they just kind of saw him, and now they're like, oh, son, you are on your own. And they are just going to barrel down towards him. But Trimsy, good for the first, going to get the flush, maybe. No, they're going to save him, but there is the shot from Finna from behind.
That is a lot more damage than I thought was going to be able to be put out from that. H1 now comes in to try and help as well. Strimsy will fall, but damage is done. Australia wounded. And looks to me like H1 with a nade. Bounces forward a bit too far, but Australia in trouble.
Oh, that fire just a bit too far. Luke 12 able to find a rock to go for the heal. Wynn going to do the same as well. Luke's going to get it, but he's the last one up for Australia. Meanwhile, it's going to be Thailand who's peppering the smokes, trying to fish for some extra points.
Exactly. I thought that one had Australia. Again, I mean, you got to give credit to Australia despite the fact that it doesn't work out for them. Now here comes the shots on through. 2 flushes confirmed. Finds the knock on. So Monty will go down in the end of it. Finna able to find him from a distance. Luke still alive. And on the other side of things, here we have Thailand fighting off Indonesia. They want to maintain control of the hill. Again, be proactive, be the aggressor. Thailand needs to defend this hill, and they do. Indonesia eliminated as Thailand stands strong on the hilltop.
Yeah, a couple perfect underhanded grenades rolling down the hill, catching some damage. Luke did get Monty up, but that's it. 2 left for the Australian squad. Kickstart the only one for the USA, and it's the Union Jacks of the UK coming in behind this. Kickstart just going to have to bunker down. Yep. I mean, if he comes up over this hill, he's going to have the same problem that H1 did. Finn is just going to shoot him in the back, and, well, it's actually Michael this time. So, you know, a nice try here by the USA, but they're just overwhelmed.
Not exactly looking any better for Australia, only having the view cover they have here. New circle, Pubg,
okay, there it goes.
hard shift north.
That's what it should
Back
do.
into territory we've been in plenty. of times before. Australia says, nope, not gonna do this one. Hard shift down north. Let's go down and just chill as best as we can and hope this tractor grants us all the cover we need.
Oh no, the tire just popped here on Argentina.
What?
Get out the way!
What?
Get out the way! Argentina, they're gonna wreck their own teammate's vehicle. Oh, they're done. They're just out in the open. They're dead to rights. Monty, though, gets taken out by LFP1. That's buying just enough time here. Maybe for somebody. No, Silzen gets knocked as well here, and Argentina all but dead.
Just when you thought things couldn't get worse, they're already in the midst of a suicide rotation, and the car did not make it any easier for them. As we said, wanting to do as much damage as possible. And you know what? Even though he doesn't get the tax, now he does. The tire pop alone could be all they needed to move further forward. Somehow, as you said, Luke able to actually get into decent placement points, everything considered. But though, there to take him down. UK, I mean, this is just back and forth. UK, Brazil, now UK up to 10 kills again.
It's Korea.
Yes.
27 points here. United Kingdom, though, they are still latching on 15 points.
Okay, you can worship your UK in a second, but the reality is Thailand didn't win against the bottom of the board.
We got one more game left to play today, so let's hop straight into it. Let's hop back over to Miramar.
Australia, hot and heavy here. Just Flood and Monty still on their feet. This one's going to get wild, folks. Buckle up. There's going to be a lot going on in the kill feed. There's going to be some flushes. Vietnam has a pretty good spot there, but they're a bit spread out. So they're going to have to rely on some individual star plays to lock this down. And Japan helping out clear out some of the bottom side of the circle.
Observers, good luck, have fun. This is indeed, as you say, Faber, going to get intense. Turkey fall in 11th. Flood trying to see what more he can find as Tickleton gets taken out as well.
Kane's holding this angle around the wall, but I think for now Korea can just kind of bunker down, wait this out, see if they can get a little bit of circle luck to come their way.
Exactly. Kane holding the angle. They know they're here. I mean, they've heard the footsteps. They're sitting ready and waiting, hoping that this next circle is going to force them to cross on over. Flood, again, these 1 HP survivals just exactly gets away from there. The bounce off the nade. Oh, close. Second one gets him. Glories. 9 billion IQ math. To bounce that one off the back wall, finds it. MCOT goes down in return, though, to an 8 from Vex.
Right, we've got Japan taking themselves the good points up at the top here. China, though, 12 points. Chinese Taipei, 12 points. For China, they need to have a massive day tomorrow to try and appease the huge swath of fans that have gone for them in the pickup.
Like Akon, acting like I'm A1. Wishing that your neighbors knew your name like Trey Songz. You Ricans can't stay strong. Keep coming back for more, they thinking that I'm Jason. You messing with the great one.